Today, I want to talk about my Michelin messaging framework today and kind of give you a bird's eye view and overview of it. This is what I have developed after 9 years in the high ticket marketing space, all of that running ads for clients and just really a ton of testing, a ton of data, and using that. And then also using psychological principles and things that we know about how high ticket buyers buy, because high ticket buyers buy differently than other types of buyers. So, one thing I will tell you is they are very desire driven. They want to feel good, and I'm going to get into more of that here in a minute. But the way that you communicate your brand needs to be different if you are trying to attract high ticket buyers. And it also needs to be positioned in a way that they not only see you as a trusted brand and authority, but that they want to choose you quickly. And so that is what my Michelin messaging framework does. And so we do this with every single one of our done for you clients right now. We are now doing a full deep dive. They get pages and pages of messaging work as the first thing that they do when they sign it on with us in the agency. But then I'm also just testing this out. I'm going to offer some VIP days, very limited. There's not very many spots, but if you want a VIP day where I do this exact process with you and give you your messaging workbook filled with amazing content prompts for you that you can use, that will help you write all your copywriting in a way that'll attract those ready to buy buyers, let me know. But let me dive into it. So, with the Michelin messaging framework, the reason why it works is it's hitting ready to buy, again, motivated buyers at an emotional level, but not on the emotions that are drilling the pain point, anything like that. It's a completely different. So, we're very focused on aspirations, outcomes, premium positioning. And we want, when people read our content, we want them to feel really good, and we want them to be able to see themselves on the other side of working with us. And that has to really tap into their true desires and what they truly want. And this framework is designed to do exactly that. And so again, it can be the foundation of all of your content, everything you write, your sales page copy, your social posts, all of that good stuff. So there's a lot of different elements in this. And the first one is what I call annoyances to pleasures. And so this is different than saying, you're in this pain, you're up all night, you can't sleep because you're thinking about this, you're struggling. All of those words I don't use. I don't use that in my content. I don't use that in my clients' content. That is going to attract a different type of buyer and someone that's in a different space. There's nothing wrong with serving those people. But for this context, when we are serving high ticket buyers, motivated high ticket buyers, we don't want to use that language. We want to talk more to things that are annoying them, right? Like, this is annoying and I want to pay to where I can get somewhere that feels really damn good for me. And so really just thinking about that in your content instead of drilling in those pain points, because the high ticket buyers don't want to feel like crap. And I see that as a mistake a lot. And I'll go into this in just a second when I'm getting into the feel good factor. But I see it a lot where people are trying to attract high ticket buyers, but they are shaming them. They're making them feel bad. The content doesn't feel good. And I've read that too. And I'm a high ticket buyer and I'm like, no, like, this does not make me feel good. I do not want to invest in that right now. And so that's just something to consider. Will you never make a sale if you do that type of content? I'm not saying that, but be careful with the type of buyers that is going to attract. And also, we're ethical marketers. We want to attract people who are in the space to make these changes and who are ready for the transformation and can commit, whether that's, financially or whatever, to making that transformation happen. And so what we really want is, again, like, focusing on that desire. Right now, something frustrates them. Maybe it's that they're getting clients. This is an example, getting clients online, but they feel like they have to just show up all the time, be online 24/7. They want some of their time back. they make good money, all that. Well, that's why people come to me a lot of times, because I save them a crap load of time, and that feels good. Again, they're not like struggling to get clients. They've had clients before, but it's just how they can get clients on the next level without spending every waking hour on social media. The next part of my Michelin messaging framework is belief shifting. And this is ethical belief shifting. This is not manipulation. This is belief shifting because there are a lot of beliefs that your ideal clients have that are not serving them. And the thing is like their beliefs that they have that are not true. So I'm just going to give another example. When it comes to me, people think that they have to spend thousands and thousands on ad spend a month to be successful, especially in the high ticket space. Well, I know that's completely not true. I start all my clients, even if they're already at 100K, 200K a month profits or income, I start them all at like 1,000, 1,500, something like that. Because I test a lot and I get data and then we scale it from that. So anyways, I know that you don't have to start your ad spend at that. I know that for a fact. I've been doing this 9 years. And so that is a belief that I have to shift sometimes, right? I have to address that in my marketing because people have been told things that are not necessarily true. And so there's things in your industry that you probably know is not a given. It's not completely true. You know a different truth, and you're going to have to use your content to address that. And so this does a couple things. One, when you're able to shift the way someone thinks about something, that automatically positions you as a leader and authority in their mind, right? Subconsciously, consciously, both. It positions you as authority in their mind. And when that happens, trust is built pretty quickly, right? When you're able to shift the way someone thinks about something, they are then putting their trust in you, trusting that you know what you're talking about, trusting that you're an authority, trusting that you're an expert. And we know now in 2024, moving into 2025, trust is everything, you guys. Everything, everything, everything if you want to sell high ticket. And so the belief shifting really helps you build that trust, but it also helps you get them to where they're in a position to invest in you because they believe what you are doing is going to work. And so a lot of times we'll use belief shifting to not only shift the belief in the product or the service, but also in themselves. So you need to ask yourself, what are they thinking about themselves right now? And how does that need to change? How do I know that can change? And so that is what we want to get into when we're dealing with the belief shifting content. The other thing you guys really need to do is be very, very focused on helping your readers, your prospects, be able to visualize the outcome of working with you and paint that picture vividly in your content. What is it going to feel like? What are those emotions? Again, they're very desire-based, pleasure-based buyers, and we need our content and the way we communicate our brand to focus on that because we want them to be able to see that. We want them to be able to really, and not only see that in their mind, but feel it. What is that going to feel like for them? When they're able to make that connection, that bridge those emotions from where they are now to where they will be, they are so ready to buy because they know that how that feels and they're already there. You already helped them get there. Paying you is no big deal at that point. So yeah, really, really vivid outcomes. Get very clear on what your outcomes are and how you could communicate that and what that means for them emotionally. And then also high ticket buyers are very motivated by status. And so status can be certain things. Of course, there's the status of money, financial status, things like that. That's a big one. But there's also status with like health, how they're seen in their industry, professional status, all these different things. And so it's going to be different depending on your offer and who you serve. But your messaging and your brand communication definitely needs to be tapped into the status. And again, this is painting that picture. How is working with you going to help them feel like they have an elevated status? And then also on the other side of working with you, how is that going to elevate their status in this world? And so being able to communicate that, huge. The other thing is what I call confidence for conversions. So You guys, you've got to learn to really step into this. And I know this is hard for a lot of people. I know a lot of people struggle with this. So if you've struggled with that, if it sometimes makes you feel uncomfortable, you are not alone. It's uncomfortable for most people when they first start out. But one thing you can do is list your offers and then ask ChatGPT, list all the ways this is going to transform or help someone's life. So that's just a confidence booster in itself. The other thing is you should be doing, if you're not already, taking screenshots anytime someone's giving you a compliment about working with you. Anytime that you're on a Zoom call, have your team take that out. If you're like someone, this client was really raving about our work together, take that out. Save all these wins in a folder. You guys, reflect on your wins daily. Daily, daily, daily. It takes work to show up confidently in this space, but when you can look at the transformations, the results you've gotten for others, then you start feeling almost an obligation to share, because it's like, okay, once I share, if I don't share, I'm not going to be able to help these other people, right? And so you've really got to work on your confidence, and whether that's going to therapy. A huge proponent of therapy. Please get therapy if you struggle with any of these blocks. But therapy, tapping, EFT tapping, I'm huge into. It sounds really weird when I first saw it. Look up some YouTube videos if you're interested. I don't sell this. I'm not an expert, anything like that. But it's really been a game changer for me. And again, it looks so weird if you first see it. But once you dive into it, I promise, I don't know how it works, but it works. But whatever you do, is if you're struggling with that confidence and really showing up in a confident way, talking about how you could get the results for people, showing some of the work you've done with clients, just really stepping into that confidence that you have as a true expert, you're going to need to work through that, because that is one of the things high ticket buyers look for. They want to invest in people who are confident in themselves. It's hard for people to have the confidence to invest in you. We're talking about $5,000, $25,000 plus dollars if you're not confident in yourself. So again, make that a priority to work on that, and make sure you're showing up talking about how badass you are, but in a way that's super, that's not, you want to be, obviously you want to talk about how amazing you are, but you also want to be humble. So do it in a way that's humble. Again, I have strategies for all this. So feel free to ask me about my VIP day if you're interested in diving deep into that. But confidence matters. Confidence matters. And if you don't feel like you're a true expert yet, find the evidence that you are. If it truly is imposter syndrome, there'll be evidence that you're an expert. If there isn't evidence that you're an expert, maybe you're not an expert yet, and you should then be spending a lot of time, energy, and resources into really developing your craft, right? Really developing your craft so that you are an expert. So those are just some suggestions, but confidence for conversions, huge works. The other thing, the feel good factor. So I kind of touched on this earlier, but high ticket buyers want to feel really freaking good, you guys. And they are looking for that. They purchase on pleasure all the time. That's why there is the, Michelin messaging. That's my messaging. The Michelin star restaurants. That's why there is first class seats. That's why there are super high-end jewelry, all these things. People will buy things that make them feel really freaking good. So your content should be doing that as well. Again, really try to avoid the shaming, things like that. Instead compliment your audience. Like, how can your audience feel good? Bring up some of their accolades and the things they've achieved. Be motivating, those kind of things, so that when people read your content, they're like, this person is a badass. They're confident in what they're selling. And I also feel really freaking good, and I like their vibe. I can't tell you how many times people reach out to me in my DMs, and I sign clients all the time. They're like, I just really love your vibe. Like, I love your vibe. I want to be around you. And I know I want to work with you. And so it just really helps to take that in consideration when you are creating your content. And then the last thing in all this is, in their words marketing, super important to actually bring in the exact words that your clients use. And so obviously on your Zoom calls, things like this, now it's become way, way easier, because we have things like Fathom and different ways that we can record our sessions. And you can literally give that to your team, say, take out some of their words. We're going to start a in their words bank in Google Docs so that we have all how they talk about working with me and how they talk about their desires and where they're going and all that stuff. You can also use your testimonials, of course, but keep a bank, like literally keep an in their words bank in Google Docs or Google Sheets or Airtable or whatever you want to use, but keep it because that is a absolute gold mine for high ticket sales. So that is it in a kind of bird's eye view. And so what I do with my clients, if they do either they sign on for our done for you full marketing ecosystem services, or if right now I'm offering the VIP day, is I interview you for about 90 minutes and I have all these questions, your brand story, how you talk about your brand, who your ideal customers are. And then I'm going to ask all these questions that's going to help me and my team really uncover all these different parts of Michelin messaging so that you can just have a full customized Michelin messaging workbook for you and your brand that's going to give you tons of content prompts, tons of content ideas so that you can attract and sign these high ticket buyers in the DMs. Like literally, just a kind of backstory, my Black Friday offer has sold out the past 3 years. This year, I love ads, right? But I did not run any ads to it. I did not send one email. It was simply because my messaging is so strong on Facebook, and I did not send one cold DM or one outreach DM, not one. And so that speaks for itself, just to have people literally just in my DMs from my content saying, I want your Black Friday offer. There's other things that go in that too. Obviously, I've been building this brand for a while. And I, had a really juicy, good offer, which I always do that for Black Friday. So I don't want to just make it sound like, oh, post one post and you're going to get all these, you're going to sell to $30,000 in sales. But what I will tell you is this is a huge, huge part of it. And when you do want to sell something, it becomes a lot easier if you've been using a really good framework to position yourself so that when you make offers, people already trust you. People already see you as an authority and they already know, hey, I want to work with this person. And that's when things become, it feels really good. It just feels good to run a business that way because we never feel like we are desperate for the sale. We don't have kind of pick me energy. They're like hitting us up, right? And that's what it's all about. All right, drop me a line if you have any questions. Also, I'm happy to send over the overview like in text form. If you want that, just let me know.